It looks like we're on the air. Hello, folks. This is Ken David Stewart. This could be my second official podcast for Podbean. It could also be considered as a belated edition of What's Up, uh, which was really a video blog I've done for several years at certain times. And I had a small following and kind of enjoyed it. So you know, uh, I haven't done one in a long time, though, an episode of What's Up, and you could actually call what I'm going to do today uh, as What's Up, a kind of spring edition. Mind you, it'd be nice in Winnipeg if we really got spring. I'm really waiting for the warm weather and the snow to leave and everything so I can get out and ride my bike. I'm still waiting, but hopefully it'll be very, very soon. Uh, the big news, I guess, is that I just finished writing my new novel called The Lake Demon. Uh, it's being I self-published. I self-published it, and it's being distributed. You can get it on Amazon.ca, the Kindle version, and I believe there's also a paperback version that's out on Amazon.com. Uh, I really enjoyed writing this novel because I've kind of had an interest in cryptozoology since I was a little boy, and things like the Loch Ness monster, and Ogopogo, and Champ from Lake Champlain. Uh, these topics have always interested me. Things like UFOs, also the Roswell incident. Things like this, I've always found topics like that to be extremely interesting. Uh, I've probably been writing off and on for about 10 years now. It all kind of started when I was teaching a drama class to adults, and I was finding I had a hard time finding something that I really found was suitable for the class. It was very, very adaptable. So I came up with the idea of writing my own stuff to see what would happen, and I wrote a play that at that time was called Roswell 1947 and is now in book form as I think the wild and hilarious adventures of the Roswell gang, and that's also available in a Kindle format on Amazon.ca. Uh, and I also wrote a book a few years ago called Summer Dreams, which had a lot to do with growing up in the 1960s in Canada. Uh, you know, uh, so I've kind of stumbled into writing as a hobby, sort of, and found that I enjoyed the writing process, the creative process, very much, and decided why not put some of this stuff out for the public. So I've done so, and uh, like I say, I do my best writing like usually early in the morning, and I mean really early, like 5 o'clock in the morning or something. I find I can only write for about 3 hours at a time at most, and I might get a chapter done or a couple episodes, and then the brain's pretty well fried for anything it's really going to be valuable after that. So I kind of put it, stop, or I may have to go to work or something. So whatever happens. But I really have enjoyed writing, and I hope other people enjoy some of my writing too. The Lake Demon is my longest book to date. It's around 350 pages, I think, approximately. Um, and but I wrote it in short episodes, uh, kind of what they call serial novelization is sort of how I did it. Um, by writing different scenes every day as they came to me, and I kind of did it in a stream of consciousness sort of method that James Joyce made famous way back when. And the ideas just sort of came to me for characters and scenes and stuff like that. Uh, I would run into roadblocks at certain points, and then I, just take a bit of time off and see what ideas came to me. And if I got a flood of ideas, I would kind of, write them down and plot them out for potential scenes. But as a writer, I guess you'd classify me more as a seat of the pants type of writer than an outliner. I'm definitely not an outliner. Whole story doesn't come to me, ready made or anything like that. But anyway, uh, if I got stuck, and at times I'd get a bit of writer's block, take a rest, then some ideas would eventually come to me, usually in a flood. Write these things down for future scenes, and just the basic core ideas. And I find this would inspire and motivate me to do some more writing. And like the biggest pain, I guess, comes near the end when I had to assemble all these scenes and chapters and parts and put them together so they would make some kind of sense. So there'd be some kind of flow to the novel. And I did my best with that, and I hope I succeeded with that. The Light Demon has some interesting characters in it. Like one of the things I've always liked about Stephen King's books is characterization, and that he does such a good job of describing the characters in his story, and that's what I'm trying to do. That's where I kind of got the idea for that, putting a lot of work into the characterization. Uh, you know, uh, uh, the language is very readable in the Light Demon. Uh, like most school kids, grade six or over, could probably read it and wouldn't have any problem with the language in it. Um, like I said, I sort of write in a stream of consciousness sort of mode where I'll get up in the morning. Sometimes I'll have some idea of what I'm going to write about, but often the ideas just come to me as I sit down. And I know some writers call it the muse or whatever. I don't know what it is, but sometimes that sort of gets things going. Uh, I'm talking about the Lake novel because the Lake Demon novel because it's just been published, and there's been a fair amount of talk and interest about it on Facebook. Uh, I thank all those people who've pressed the like button and made some nice comments. Bless your hearts. This is and anyone who wants to check me out on Facebook, uh, just look for Ken David Stewart. That's what I'll be under, and I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, and I think all my stuff is made public. So it shouldn't be too hard to find if you look for Ken David Stewart on Facebook. I also write for on WordPress too for one of my blogs, and I have a website there called kendavidstewart.org, and you can find a lot of my writing there too. Um, also for TypePad, I also write put a lot of my blogs on TypePad as well, and you can also find me on TypePad, another famous blog site. Uh, and of course, if you just type in, Ken David Stewart on Google, you'll probably find my work fairly easily. Um, you know, not that really that organized today, just kind of, just having fun with this today. And, like I said, cryptozoology's been an interest of mine since I was a little kid. Things like the Loch Ness Monster, Champ, Ogo Pogo, things like that always interested me, and the stories about flying saucers, things like that, Sasquatch, all that stuff. I think it's really cool stuff. Uh, really interests me, and that's where the inspiration for the Lake Demon kind of came from. Um, I put down some notes here. Uh, as you can tell, I'm not reading off a teleprompter. That's pretty obvious. But just some thoughts. Uh, like my What's Up episodes used to be just basically what I was doing at the time, and that's basically nothing's changed. So there was such a concentration on my writing that that's why a good part of this podcast is talking about my recent writing and my recent book. Uh, I've also taken up the bass guitar, and at first I bought a kind of a cheapie, and I wasn't that satisfied with it. But now I got myself a much better bass guitar. It's an Epiphone Classic Thunderbird, and it's really good for rock. And if you play pick style like I do, uh, I mean, it just sounds. I've got a Fender Rumble amp, 100 watts. Uh, it just sounds like a locomotive or something, or an airplane taking off. It'll rattle the windows, and I really get a lot of joy out of that. And it helps me relax. Believe it or not, maybe not the people around me, but it helps me relax. Uh, so I've been really having a lot of fun with my bass, and I've been practicing scales, bass scales, power chords. Really sound cool on it, especially if you press the distortion button. It really sounds cool with the power chords, and just basic finger dexterity exercises. I don't have a great deal of finger dexterity. I'm not naturally gifted that way at all. In fact, it's a handicap in my case. But I'm trying to see if I can overcome this, by just sheer power of will, I guess, and just, by repeated practice, trying to get better. And I mean, the bass helps. I played regular guitar too, but the bass only has four strings, and at least the model I have. Where the guitar has six. But I am looking at, who knows, in the future, a 12 string bass. I don't know. They're out right now, but whether I could play one, I don't know. But right now I'm having fun with my fourth string. Okay, I'll see if there's anything else I was going to talk to about today. Maybe the last thing I'll talk about today, kind of keep it short today, uh, is we saw WrestleMania 32. What with my son and another friend of ours, and we really had a great time at the pay-per-view. Uh, I can't say it was the best WrestleMania I've ever seen. Um, the main event, Roman Reigns and Triple H, I think was a disappointing match. It somehow didn't belong at the top of the card. Uh, the match that was really the one that stole the show was the Shane McMahon Undertaker match. Like that move, that jumping off the top of the steel cage that Shane McMahon did was really awesome. It seemed to me foolhardy, actually. Like it was crazy. I think he jumped about 27 feet or something. It was just unreal. It's hard to believe an athlete would take that kind of risk, but Shane McMahon certainly did, and of course it was a showstopper, like Shawn Michaels used to be called, the showstopper. Uh, and wrestling's something I've grown up with too, and I've watched all my life, and last few years especially really gotten into it with my son and his friends. And really, I think that's about all I'm going to talk about today. I hope you get a chance to check out my books. The Amazon Kindle version of The Lake Demon. If you belong to Kindle Unlimited, if you have a subscription with them, and I think you can get a free trial too, then you can read The Lake Demon for free, and of course other books that are on Kindle Unlimited, and that's on Amazon CA. Okay, enough for plugging my own stuff, and just hope you have a good evening, good weekend, great week, and we shall certainly talk again soon. So I'll be signing out as of now.